What if Dodge took the most rebellious American sports car ever built, gave it a modern body, modern technology, and brought that legendary attitude into 2027? That is the dream behind the so-called 2027 Dodge Viper. But there is one very important thing you need to know before we get carried away. Dodge has not officially announced a 2027 Viper, and the Viper remains out of production. In fact, Dodge's current information still lists the Viper as discontinued, while recent comments from SRT chief Tim Kuniskis say the Viper nameplate is not coming back. So today, we're looking at what a modern Viper would have to be like, using the legendary 5th-generation car as the foundation, and separating the real Viper legacy from the internet rumors. And honestly, just imagine it. A long, low hood stretching forward like a predator, a cabin pushed toward the rear, massive shoulders over the rear wheels, and that unmistakable snake-inspired face. The Viper never needed an enormous grille or complicated styling to announce itself. It looked dangerous because the proportions were dangerous. A modern interpretation could keep that same low-slung silhouette while adding sharper LED lighting, aggressive aerodynamic channels, carbon fiber details, and a wider stance. The result wouldn't need to copy a Corvette or a European supercar. It would need to look like something only Dodge could build. Step inside, and this is where the Viper's old-school personality would meet the modern world. The original car was never about luxury first. It was about the driver. A hypothetical 2027 version should keep that philosophy, but surround it with a far more sophisticated cockpit, digital instrumentation, a large infotainment display, premium materials, supportive performance seats, and modern connectivity. You could have carbon fiber, Alcantara, aluminum controls, and all the technology today's buyers expect, without turning the Viper into a rolling smartphone. But here's the question everyone wants answered. What would live underneath that enormous hood? The final Viper used an 8.4-liter naturally aspirated V10, producing 645 horsepower in its final form, and that engine was one of the biggest reasons the car became an American legend. A genuine 2027 Viper would have to deliver something equally dramatic, but there is currently no confirmed Dodge powertrain for such a car. Online rumors have mentioned everything from an updated V10 to turbocharged or electrified alternatives, but those figures should be treated as speculation, not official specifications. And that's actually what makes the Viper so fascinating. Its appeal was never just horsepower. It was the sensation of controlling something that felt slightly too powerful for the road. Rear-wheel drive, a manual transmission, enormous torque, and a chassis that demanded respect created an experience that modern supercars often filter away with computers. The last Viper could reach 60 miles per hour in around 3.3 seconds in ACR form, but the acceleration figure was almost secondary to the theater. You didn't simply drive a Viper, you negotiated with it. Compared with a Chevrolet Corvette Z06, the Viper philosophy was completely different. The Corvette is an engineering masterpiece, more sophisticated, more polished, and incredibly capable. A hypothetical modern Viper would need to fight back with personality. The Corvette tells you exactly what the car is doing. The Viper should make you feel it. One is precision with American muscle. The other would be American madness with precision added afterward. Comfort would probably be the biggest challenge. The old Viper could be brutally honest, especially compared with modern Grand Tourers. A new interpretation would need better seats, quieter cruising, improved climate control, and suspension technology capable of switching from road-friendly to track-focused behavior. The same car should be able to cross a city without exhausting you and then attack a circuit without feeling soft. Safety would also have to move dramatically forward. Modern driver assistance, advanced stability control, multiple airbags, stronger crash protection, blind spot monitoring, automatic emergency braking, and modern braking systems would be essential. The trick would be adding those systems without taking away the Viper's raw character. And then there's fuel economy. Let's be realistic. Nobody would buy a Viper expecting Prius numbers. The old Viper's enormous naturally aspirated engine was never designed around efficiency. A future version would have to balance performance with emissions and economy, potentially through lighter construction, smarter engine technology, or some form of electrification. But if Dodge ever builds one, Enthusiasts will still demand that unmistakable mechanical drama. Pricing is impossible to confirm because there is no official 2027 Viper on sale. The final 2017 Viper started around the $90,000 range, with high-performance versions climbing substantially higher. A modern halo car using today's materials, technology, and performance hardware could easily occupy six-figure territory. And that brings us to the biggest advantage and biggest disadvantage of the Viper idea. Exclusivity would make it special, but the price could push it directly into Corvette Z06 and exotic car territory. Still, if Dodge ever creates another snake, it shouldn't try to be the cheapest supercar, the most luxurious sports car, or even the fastest thing on the road. It should be the car that makes you turn around after parking it. The car that makes the engine start feel like an event. The car that reminds you why people fell in love with the Viper in the first place. So is the 2027 Dodge Viper real? Right now, no official production car exists, and that's important because a lot of online renderings and rumored specifications make the car sound far more confirmed than it actually is. But the legend is absolutely real. From its outrageous V10 to its brutal rear-wheel drive character, the Viper earned a place in automotive history that few cars can touch. And maybe that's why the idea refuses to die. Because in a world where performance cars are becoming increasingly intelligent, the Viper represents something wonderfully irrational, a machine built not just to move fast, but to make you feel alive. You've been watching Drive Dynasty. If you want more deep dive reviews where we separate the real car from the hype and look at what actually makes legendary machines special, like the video, subscribe to Drive Dynasty and tell me in the comments. If Dodge gave you the keys to a brand new Viper tomorrow, would you choose it over a Corvette Z06?
Precision redefined. The new Dodge Viper.